expect it's brisk and cold in late November in Milwaukee for the Battle of the Bays, the Buccaneers and the Packers from Milwaukee's County Stadium. And hi, everybody. I'm Jim Nance. Glad to have you with us for this game in the NFC Central Division. And check out the standings right now in terms of the playoff picture in the NFC, because the Packers, having won 3 of their last 4, have now moved within 1 game of the Redskins for the 3rd and final wild card spot in the NFC with 5 weeks remaining in the regular season. It's my pleasure, as always, to be with the great coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, who led them to a Super Bowl victory, Hank Stram. And, Hank, what is the reason for Green Bay's success this year?
Well, this is the 11th game. They should be better than they were when they started, and they've improved dramatically since the beginning of the season. I think really they believe very strongly in what Mike has brought to this football team, and I think they're at a stage right now where they won the last 2 games, and I think they're at a stage where they feel they can beat anybody at this time of the season.
Well, the Bucs are 4-7. They beat the Packers 31-3 in week 2, but Hank, they're on a slide now, having lost 6 out of 7. How can Sam Weiss turn it around?
Sam's a good salesman, and it's a selling job that he has to do, and I think he'll do a very good job of that. Talking to all the players, I think they believe very strongly in what's happening in Tampa Bay, and as a result, I look for them to play an extremely good game this afternoon, especially if Vinny Testaverde can get off to a good start and get hot in this game.
It is 34 degrees with a wind chill factor of 13 degrees. Cloudy and cool is the forecast, and the temperature is important because, take notice, Tampa Bay has never won when the temperature drops below 40 degrees in a game. And according to Rick Odioso of the Tampa Bay staff, that's 12 games in franchise history. 12 games under 40 degrees and never a win. This is George Thomas, just signed this week. And look at him take the opening kick. George Thomas to the 47-yard line. The former Falcon signed this week with great speed. They called him Heat in Atlanta. And he broke free for 38 yards, Hank, on the opening kickoff.
Well, the great thing about it is, see, he's very decisive. He makes the catch. It's obviously a middle return. He starts and sees the big hole up the middle. He's very decisive in what he does with regard to the decisions, and makes a big return on his play.
That's a role he never had a chance to fulfill with the Falcons because Deion Sanders was their kick returner. Play action fake on first down. Pressure by Brock on Testaverde. He goes back to the other side and hits Ron Hall for a loss. Leroy Butler on the tackle, but a loss of about 3 yards. Vinny had a career game the first time out against the Packers. He was fighting the flu that day and went 22 of 25. Couple of touchdowns and ran for 1 also. Here's his offensive line. Paul Gruber, who is from the University of Wisconsin, grew up here. Reimers, Mayberry, Beckles, and McRae on the front. Reggie Cobb, 178 yards from 1,000, with McDowell in the backfield. Dawsey and Carrier, the receivers. 2nd down and 13. Here is Cobb. Noble on the hit at the 50. Gain of 7. Tony Bennett of the Packers leads the way with 10.5 sacks. He's having a Pro Bowl season now out of Ole Miss, former #1 pick. And for Green Bay on the defensive line, Brock and Yurkovich and Robert Brown in his 104th straight start. Kuntz, Noble, Johnny Holland, and Tony Bennett are the linebackers. Terrell Buckley with Roman Mitchell on the corners. Butler and Cecil the safeties. 3rd and 6 from the shotgun, Tampa Bay. Across the middle, intercepted. It's Mitchell. Mitchell will run it back inside the 30, and Testaverde on the tackle at the 20. Roland Mitchell with only the 4th interception of the year by the secondary at Green Bay. And he ran it back 38 yards all the way to the Bucs 22.
Here we see Testaverde back in the pocket. The protection is good. A crossing pattern right over the middle. It's a little bit behind the receiver. It hits him on the shoulder pad, and as a result, the old tipping drill goes into effect. Mitchell makes the interception and brings it back down with good field position for the Green Bay Packers.
Again for Mitchell, 6th-year player from Texas Tech, his 1st interception of the season, and again only the 4th for the Green Bay secondary this year. Pass was intended for Dawsey, who was hit on contact by Cecil. Deflected the ball to Mitchell for the INT. Now Green Bay with Brett Favre at quarterback. and 2 tight ends. Running the football with Edgar Bennett, a rookie from Florida State, gains 3. Marty Carter on the tackle. Brett Favre is the youngest NFL starting quarterback at age 23. Has thrown 11 touchdowns against only 8 interceptions. His offensive line has Rutgers on the left side with Winters. Campen snaps it to him. Hallstrom and Robbins on the right side. And Jackie Harris has been a favorite target of late. Bennett rushed for over 100 yards last week in his first NFL start. Sidney in the backfield with him. Sterling Sharp is the NFL's leading receiver, and Ron Lewis is on the other side. His first NFL start today. 2nd and 7, and Favre flings it too high for Jackie Harris. Harris has caught 24 passes in the last 4 games, including 9 against the New York Giants. Now Tampa Bay on defense. Rookie Santana Dotson with 9 sacks and a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year on the line with Chambly in his first NFL start. Wheeler, Dotson on that line. And the rest of the secondary, Reynolds, Mack, Fullington, and Carter. Linebacking core, Jimmy Williams, Broderick Thomas, and Derek Brownlow's first NFL start. 3rd and 7. Harry Sidney breaking outside and short of the first. Keith McCants on the tackle. McCants, one of the linebackers that I failed to mention. David Grant has been signed this week. We'll see him some today.
You know, Jim, that play was a counter tray, the old counter tray that the Washington Redskins have made famous. The right tackle and the right guard, Hallstrom and Robbins, were pulling to their left on the play. Sidney tried to go. He was supposed to go off tackle, but Sidney jumped outside, went sideways, and didn't get the yardage for the first down.
34-yard field goal attempt coming from Chris Jackie, who is 70% on the season. Impressive long-range leg. He's 2 for 2 over 50 yards. This is a chip shot for him, and he drills it. Football went through kind of sideways instead of end over end, but it's 3-0 Green Bay, set up by the interception of Mitchell. After this first part of the game, giving up the interception but yielding only a field goal.
Well, I think, first of all, they have to feel good about the fact the way they moved the ball. They had good field position. They were moving nicely, and the pass was just a little bit behind Dawsey. He hit his shoulder pad and bounced out. He got hit about the same time. But I think they've got to feel good about the fact they can move the ball against him.
Here's Courtney Hawkins on the run back, and he's near the 30. Vernell Dent on the tackle. Green Bay, the only team in the league with 2 homes. They play 5 games at Lambeau Field, 3 here at County Stadium, and this is the first Green Bay non-sellout since 1988. They were about 1,000 short of sellout. They first started playing down here in 1933, trying to drum up some support south of Green Bay. But their winning percentage is better at County Stadium than it is at Lambeau Field since 1970. And Curly Lambeau and his Packers of 39 won the championship here in Milwaukee, in fact, in 39. And then the Western Division game with the Green Bay eventual Super Bowl champions. They won here for advancing home to play in the Ice Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys.
The offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's Sam Weish in his first year with the Buccaneers. He led Cincinnati to the Super Bowl in the '88 season, only to lose to the 49ers in the last minute, 20-16.
I think they stopped the last time they had a problem. There were 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and they were not sure what they had to do. As a result, they called a timeout to get things straightened out.
That's Cobb hit by Noble, and Tampa Bay in the hurry-up offense, no-huddle offense. Trademark of Sam Weish. Started it with the Bengals. 2nd down and 14.
And that can be a problem this afternoon, especially for Green Bay, because they're both on the same side of the field. We'll talk about that as we go along, Jim.
Set up the screen for Cobb. And Johnny Holland was there to greet him along with Brian Noble.
See, that was man-for-man coverage, it looked like, Jim, and as a result, Noble was on the back, and it's tough to throw a screen pass against a blitzing man-for-man kind of a play unless you break it clean. Then it could be a big play, but I think most of the time it's better to throw screens against zone defense.
3rd and 14, 4 receivers in. Testaverde has the first. And was he down? He was ruled down. He fumbled after the play was over. I think he has the first by a half yard. I gave it to him a little early maybe, but let's see where they mark it. I think he has the first.
Well, I don't think there's any question. Of course, the big thing is where they're going to mark it.
Yep. They don't even have to measure for it. First down, Tampa Bay. 14-yard run for Testaverde.
And here again, that's something that he does a lot better than people think he can do. He's tall and lanky, and as a result, doesn't look like he's running as fast as he actually is. But look, he goes into the pocket, sees the cavity, and takes off and runs with the football, and knows where the marker is to get the first down, and got just enough for the first down to move the chains.
Ty J. Armstrong has come in, a second tight end with Hall as they go outside with Cobb. Cobb brushes off a couple tacklers and gets near the 50. Ian Beckles with a good block to set up Cobb, who, well, he could even get 1,000 yards today with a 178-yard effort, which would be a career high, but likely to make a run at it next week.
And he's really a good running back. I'm more impressed with him. Every time I see him, I'm more impressed with him than I was the last time I saw him play.
2nd down and 1. There he is. Cobb has the first down and good yardage to the 42. That's a run of about 8 yards.
I mentioned this last week, Jim, and I'll mention it again because it's a very good quality that he has. You never see Cobb get hit and never fall backwards. He's always falling forwards, knocking the pile back. Good blocking at the point of attack. They cave it in. He breaks to the outside, goes through a would-be tackler, makes a good move inside. But he's always going forward and knocks people forward instead of getting knocked back after he gets hit.
8 minutes to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Green Bay. First down for the Bucks.
Look at all the room on the left side.
Cobb up the middle. Cobb to the 34. Another 8-yard run.
See, that's the great thing about the I formation in that you can start one. You're back there about 7.5 yards deep. And it's a great formation against teams that over-pursue. And Cobb is a very good cutback runner. And I never forget years ago, I went to Southern California to see John McKay's team. He was a great exponent of the I formation. And, of course, now everybody uses it because of what they used to see in Southern California with John.
2nd down and 2. Stay with the hot running back, and Cobb falls short of the first by about a yard. Tripped by Matt Brock and Yurkovich. So it'll be 3rd and 1, and Tampa sets quickly. From the 33, McDowell is in the backfield, along with Cobb.
Over that right guard, looks like a vulnerable spot.
They're running right. Cobb has the first down, and to the 26. Chuck Cecil held on. Otherwise, Cobb may have broken it. Holland also was in the area. Cobb over 40 yards rushing here in the opening quarter.
Watch him here now, going to the right side. He's got his head up. The only thing bad about it is he got the ball in the left arm. But it was good for distance.
And good for a first down. Reggie Cobb. Oh, look at the hit by Cecil. He'll put some of the best hits on you for anybody in the league.
Yeah, he's very deceptive, too. We talked to him yesterday. He looks like a little choir boy, but he's tough and a big hitter.
And a good golfer. Spent the bye week this season going on a golf junket back to Arizona. Played down in the Green Valley, south of Tucson. About a 4 handicap he sports. 2nd down and 7. McDowell is the only back. He'll run it for only the 5th time this season. McDowell carrying the football. He gets to the 20. And it'll be 3rd and about 4. It's a rookie from Texas Tech who was an 8th-round pick. Sam Weiss says he's a comer.
Jim, I mentioned earlier about the no-huddle offense and also about the substitution situation. The Green Bay Packers are on this side of the field, so it's no problem with substitutions if they have to make them. But if they're down the other end of the field when they switch, then it'll be a problem.
3rd down and 4.
Look at the one-on-one you got in the left side. If he throws the ball, he's gonna. Here it is.
Good fake. Throws across his body. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Good pass to Mark Carrier. 20-yard touchdown.
Bootleg, play action, faking one way and going back. But that was the place to throw the football, is one-on-one. And he delivers it nicely. Watch this now, a fake to the right side. And then he comes back. See, look at the defense all taking a sniff of the fake. And the outside receiver comes back inside. Makes the catch. The ball is right on the money. Makes the catch for the touchdown.
And he beat Roland Mitchell, who had the interception earlier in this quarter. Eddie Murray with the extra point try. He's made 115 in a row. 116, and it's 7-3 Buccaneers. Impressive drive, mixing Cobb and the passing of Testaverde for the touchdown to Mark Carrier. In the league.
They get it early enough and they stay long enough. They ought to be very, very good at it.
The short kick run out to the 35-yard line by Yurkovich. Impressive set of hands on that one by the big fella. And we have a timeout on the field, official timeout with the Bucs in front.
Official timeout.
It's a fake inside. Testaverde does a good job then rolling. 1-for-1 coverage on Mitchell to the outside into the post. And watch all these defensive men go with a fake inside and watch it pop open. Good fake. Look at the set. Look at all the defensive people coming over with a fake. And Carrier going into the post. Ball is right on target. Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That was Carrier's 2nd touchdown of the season. Now Green Bay, after the kick return to the 35, trailing 7-3. 4 minutes to go in the first. There's Sterling Sharp for no gain. Carter on the coverage. Let's get an update in New York with Greg Gumbel.
Jim at Cleveland. Peter Tom Willis of the Bears making his first NFL start. You'll remember this one, the pass to the side, picked off by Dave Brandon, and he will go 92 yards for the touchdown. They're still in the first quarter. The Browns leading Chicago 7-0, Jim.
Dave Brandon, Hank, you knew that family, didn't you?
Yeah, for a long time.
Brandon's father played for you.
That's right.
2nd down and 10. And Favre fires it. Caught near the first down. Caught by Ron Lewis, the former 49er who was signed a week ago and made his first NFL start today.
He's got a gun. Favre have really a fastball here. Comes back for the ball. Good coverage really by Milton Mack, but the ball was thrown right at the numbers, and as a result, no way in the world that the defensive back Milton Mack can go through there and knock the ball down.
All right, Lewis's catch about a football away from a first down. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Lewis from Florida State played on the baseball team for the Seminoles along with Deion Sanders, and in fact played in the California Angels minor league organization for a while. Now it is 2nd pro year in the NFL. 3rd And a yard to go with 3 tight ends for the Packers. Harris joined by Ed West and Darrell Ingram.
Looks like they're going to run right.
They run it with Sidney, and that's enough for the first. Boy, we have another update. Let's get you right back to Greg.
All right, Jim, at RFK Stadium, Mark Rippon will find Barry Sanders. This is good for a 13-yard touchdown pass, and Brad Edwards has just returned a Rosenbach interception for another TD. So the Redskins have jumped out on top now 13-3 over the Cardinals, Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. Good job on the updates. And the Redskins, they'll be watching that game closely in Wisconsin, as the Redskins have a 1-game lead over the Packers at the present time for the last wild card spot in the NFC. On first down, Favre to Sharp, and just another short gain for the NFL's leading receiver. Also leads the league in reception yardage with over 1,100 yards. And he's got quite a streak going, consecutive game streak with a reception, now at 67.
Boy, Peters is doing a good job so far of changing coverages. That time they were in the zone, and as a result, why they dumped the ball off for a very short gain on the play.
So it's 2nd and 8. Edgar Bennett is the lone back. 2 tight ends. Edgar Bennett running through traffic to the 46 of Tampa Bay. Tootie Robbins helped clear the way on the right side. Edgar Bennett looking pretty good, Hank. Last week 107 yards on 29 carries. Watch him here.
Yeah, watch it now. He's big. He's 6 foot, weighs about 222. You see there's no cut move opportunity there for him, and he knows that, and he goes right into the pile and moves it a little bit and picks up a nice gain in the play.
He was the first Green Bay rookie to get 100 yards in his first start in 34 years since Jim Taylor did it. 3rd and 2. Sharp will lose yardage. Ricky Reynolds wrapped him up. That's 3 catches on this drive for Sharp. Well, that one was for -5 yards.
And Reynolds probably will play Sharp all over the field wherever he goes. That time he was up there very close. I'm surprised he even threw the ball there, because he had no chance whatsoever to make the catch and then make yardage on the and run up the field on the play.
That was actually -5 yards on 3 receptions for Sharp. So Wagner is in the punt. And he gets off a spiral. Oh, that should have been fielded by Houck at the goal line. Wagner's sick about it, but Tampa Bay will bring it out to the 20 with a 7-3 lead. On a 20-yard touchdown pass to Vinny Testaverde. And the Bucs start from their 20. Final minute of the first quarter. Reggie Cobb zigzagging for about 6. Noble on the stop.
Cecil and Noble.
There's an illustration, Jim, of a good back stretching a loss or no gain into a good gain with just excellent running, head up, eyes open, and making the right moves.
2nd and 4, and that play will take place at the other end at the start of the second quarter. Hey, Reggie Cobb with 53 yards rushing on 9 carries in the first 15 minutes. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, Tampa Bay 7 and Green Bay 3. Stadium, this unusual configuration for a football game with the low bleachers on the far side. Only 30% of the seats between the 30s. 2nd down and 4, the Bucs leading 7-3. To open the second quarter, Reggie Cobb, he slips short of the first. At the 29, he's 1 yard shy of the first.
That's the other counter tray play again. That time, the right guard, Beckles, and also McRae, I should say, pulling on the play to the left side. Again, designed to go either inside or outside. He elected to go outside. It would have made more yardage, except he slipped.
3rd and 1. Cobb, he slipped again. He slipped as he was trying to make a cut to the inside. He saw that Johnny Howland had shut off the area behind the right tackle, so the Bucs will punt.
See, when he's running to the right, and he's making that cut, that severe cut like he did that last play, he was cutting on the left foot, and actually had he cut on the right foot, he wouldn't have fallen like he did on that last play.
Dan Straczynski in the punt. He does not allow very much return yardage, but look out for Terrell Buckley. Kicks away from Buckley, and out of bounds at the 23-yard line is where they'll spot it. 49-yard punt with no return. Brett Favre made his Green Bay debut in Week 2 against Tampa Bay when he came in relief of Mikowski. He's 4 for 5 so far. Nothing but of the short variety to this point. But he's completed in the last 4 games 64% of his passes, almost for 1,000 yards, and 3-1 record.
Interesting thing about that game, he threw a pass and caught it himself in that game. Remember that?
That was his first NFL pass. He threw to himself.
The old boomerang shot.
For a loss of 7 yards. But he is the future at Green Bay. And he gives to Bennett, who fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. McCants and Brownlow in on the hit. Very banged up defense for the Bucs, Hank, with Derek Brownlow starting for Calvin Tiggle. They also lost Ray Seals to an injury last week, so 2 starters out and others feeling rather bruised.
Yeah, they're playing like they're not hurting very much right now, and here's Floyd Peters on the sideline calling the plays. And of course, it's fun to talk to these coaches before the game because they're always very optimistic and positive about what's going to happen that particular afternoon.
2nd down and 10 from the 23. Play action, looking long, and over the hands of Ronald Lewis. I thought he might go for the deep receiver, Sterling Sharp, who appeared to have a step on his defender. Went back to Ron Lewis in his only his 2nd appearance in a Packer uniform.
And Carter covering on the play, number 23. A good selling job by the fake. All the time in the world to throw the ball. Sometimes that makes it tough for the quarterback. He's got so much time that he kind of steers the ball and overthrows this one. Look at the pass protection. The fake inside is good. Good individual fighting up front by the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers.
Sanjay Beach is in as a receiver for the Pack on 3rd and 10. Far throw, stepping up, incomplete, intended for Harris. That football was un-Favre-like, Hank, and that it was wobbling and took a long time to get there.
Well, that was a helicopter ball. That's the way they go. Sideways instead of spiral.
Brian Wagner playing for his 8th team in the last 8 years. Some of those teams were actually just tryouts. He was beaten out by Paul McJulian in the preseason. Now he replaces him as of 2 weeks ago. And that's another good one. Courtney Hawkins from the 33. And only gains about 2 yards on the run back. Corey Harris on the hit after a 45-yard punt. Bucs have the football and the lead in the 2nd quarter.
Official timeout.
Oh. Reggie Cobb has had a good start to this game. 5 yards a carry. Led them to a touchdown drive. A pass to Mark Carrier. Green Bay's points, a 34-yard field goal by Chris Jackie. So it's 7-3 Bucks. And Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. What conclusions can you draw so far, Hank?
Well, you know, right now I think it's very obvious that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are controlling the football. And they're doing a good job of moving the football. And I'm surprised they're playing as well defensively with all the guys that got hurt. So it's a great compliment to Sam and the coaches for the kind of job they've done so far.
Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 from its own 35. Play action and rolling out to the left to Ron Hall at the 50. That was a good pass play. Similar to the bootleg they scored on the touchdown. Scored with a touchdown in the first quarter, Hank. Similar kind of design play. They fake the handoff.
Yeah, they fake. Look at the flow of the defensive linemen and also the linebackers. Look at all the room he's got. And there he is throwing a touchdown pass to Mark Carrier with man-for-man coverage on the play. And Mitchell, number 47, covering on that last play.
So after an 18-yard pass play into Green Bay territory, 1st down. Quickly ruled a trap. It hit the ground first, intended for Dawsey. Second and 10. Reggie Cobb is hammered back at his own 48, hit first by Tony Bennett. So it gives some of that yardage back.
We see the surge on the left side, but look at the penetration on the defense. And there you see Bennett popping through there in good shape and making the initial hit on the play. He gets help from some pals on the inside, but Bennett is the guy that's created the problem with his penetration.
3rd down and 14.
One-on-one coverage. You ought to be able to do something here.
Steps up, hits Carrier. Carrier fumbles. And a lot of Green Bay players in the area. You have to think they have it. They do. That's the 2nd Tampa Bay turnover. Carrier was attempting to dive for the first. He knew he had to get to the 37. He would not have made it, but he turns it over at that spot, actually at the 41. Recovered by Terrell Buckley.
Here we see Carrier on the outside on a crossing pattern coming across there. Now here he makes the catch. Now he knows where he has to go for the 1st down, but as he leaps into the air, he gets hit on the backside, fumbles the ball, and now the Green Bay Packers have possession with good field position, 1st and 10.
Well, Green Bay has forced 2 turnovers, but the Packers trail in the 2nd quarter. From Milwaukee.
Yeah, a little cheesehead there.
Tampa Bay 4-0 this year when leading after the 1st quarter. That was the case today, 7-3. 1st down pass play intended for Lewis, but hammered as he threw it was Favre. Hank, we just had a very pleasant surprise visit to our booth by a man I greatly admire, broadcasting true legend, Ray Scott. Called so many of those outstanding Packer moments a quarter of a century ago.
Yeah, and he did some of our games when I was in Kansas City, so he's the best.
They don't come any better. In fact, we'll call this next play like Ray Scott would have. Second down and 10 for the Packers. Favre to Brooks. Near a 1st down, Green Bay. I don't know. I got to work on that one, Hank. How did you like the reverse?
Good timing on the reverse. They fake inside and it goes outside. Look at Williams. It was caught way inside, but they all recovered nicely. They didn't get nearly as much play results out of the play as I thought they might when the play initially started.
I was hoping for an old Star to Dowler type call, but was not afforded the opportunity.
Well, you get McGee's here. I just saw Max a little while ago, so get him in the act too.
3rd and 2, and Favre throws for the first to Harris. First down at the Tampa Bay 44. Jackie Harris trails only Novacek of the Cowboys in terms of receptions by a tight end in the National Football League.
Yeah, he came into the game with 42. That made 43.
And Ron Hall of Tampa Bay is 4th. For the Packers, that's only their 2nd first down of the game.
Well, they got man for man on the far side. Let's see if they do this.
Scrambling away from trouble and hitting Bennett. Bennett to the 20. Mark him out actually at the 22. Bumped out by Jimmy Williams. A run of 22.
See what they did. They double the flanker on the right side and had one-on-one on the left side. And so as a result, that was a vulnerable area, but he looks to the right and then rolls to the left. Good running down the sideline. Excellent running by Bennett down the far sideline, and he picks up a nice gain on the play.
4th round pick from Florida State.
Ball on the 22, first down.
Packers driving, trailing 7-3. Midway through the 2nd. Here it is, Bennett. A run of 2. Brownlow on the hit. Amazing thing about Edgar Bennett, he's reunited at Green Bay once again with Leroy Butler. They played high school football together, played at Florida State together, and now they're both Packers. In fact, a year ago when Edgar was still playing for Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles, he called Leroy up several times during the season and wanted to know, when are you guys going to win? And I'll bet it's cold up there, he used to joke with him from Florida. And now he's wearing the green and gold. On 2nd and 8. Green Bay from the 20. Favre. Boy, that pass had some heat on it. Went right through the hands of Ed West.
I couldn't tell how high that was, but here again, that kind of a pass in the middle area, see, it's above his head, right about head high, and if you don't get the hands up fast and you don't catch that ball, it's right over the top, and a lot of times the old tipping drill prevails and it winds up being an interception. You throw the ball in the middle, you better throw it below the neck.
So it's 3rd and 8. Sharp at the 16 and short at the first.
Sharp on the completion.
About 4 yards shy of the first. Jimmy Williams on the tackle. So Chris Jackie will come in for his 2nd field goal try of the day. He connected from 34 yards out in the first quarter. First one was from 34. This is from 33 yards. Mikowski on the hold, and Jackie is 2 for 2. 7-6 Bucks. 6:37 before halftime.
Official timeout.
And the Bucks have given up 2 field goals. Both of Green Bay's scores have come after turnovers. But Tampa Bay leads 7-6.
Sam's on the sideline counting the players. Make sure he's only got 11.
That kick is out of bounds, and they'll bring it out to the 35. Doubleheader day on CBS. And coming up next, most of you will see the Philadelphia Eagles at San Francisco. Important game for the Eagles in that chase in the NFC East. Trying to keep pace with the Cowboys, who won on Thanksgiving Day. They win today, they'll still be 2 games back. Tampa Bay's first 4 possessions: interception that led to a field goal, a touchdown, a punt, and a fumble that led to a field goal. From the 35. Flooding the right side.
Yeah, triple wing on the right side. They're going to all scatter. Let's see what happens here.
In traffic, incomplete. Holland and Butler on the hit. Pass intended for Carrier. Carrier's next catch will be the 300th reception of his career. Pro Bowler back in 1989. Second and 10. Carrier comes to the left side along with Courtney Hawkins. Dawsey is to the right. Cobb scrambles for about 5. Where Cecil gets credit for the tackle.
Cobb runs with a very good lean, and most of the time his shoulders are always square, so he's able to deliver a good blow. He gives the blow rather than accepts the blow from the tackler.
3rd down and 6. This game moving along rather quickly. Testaverde will run for it and will not get it. Alfred Oglesby stopped him 3 yards shy of the first.
It looked like he hesitated for a moment as he started to make his decision to go outside. And then when he finally did decide to take the run, why, I think he was a little bit late. And it looked like he got the little gimpy knee on the play. I asked him before the game how his knee felt. He said it was fine, but he could still tell that it was a little sore. But watch this. See, there was a little delay there, but he was trying to fake out the would-be tackler to get more yardage on the play.
Straczynski. High punt, fair catch. Fumbled! Fumbled at the 27. And the Buck players pointing in the wrong direction. There you go. Somebody better tell Roger Jones they're going the other way. But it's recovered by the Bucks as Chuck Cecil fumbled. You know, Terrell Buckley had dropped 6 of them this year, Hank. So they put Cecil back with Buckley. And Chuck couldn't hold on.
Well, they put him back there for the express reason of making sure that he would be back there and make the catch, you see. But he doesn't make the catch. It's fumbled. And the Bucks recover. They have good field position, 1st and 10. And the important thing now is they've got to take advantage of this good field position opportunity.
That was recovered by the snapper, Ed Brady.
Look at the bump and run on the outside.
Oh, what a pounding hit at the line of scrimmage. Noble on Cobb.
They had a lot of guys, a lot of folks on the line of scrimmage that time, Jim, and it was very, very difficult to make any yardage on that kind of a run. Here's a counter play with a right guard and a right tackle pulling on the play. See, he tries to get inside on the play and is tackled there by Brian Noble, number 91, right about the time he got into the hole.
4:20 remaining in the first half. 7-6 Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 10. Good fake to Cobb. The pass. Intercepted. Chuck Cecil got it back. He fumbled 2 plays ago, and this time he catches the ball on the rebound. Deflected by Butler. The pass was underthrown, and Cecil comes up with his 2nd interception of the season. Had one last week, too.
Excuse me, Jim. Pretty good coverage on the play. Look at this now. You can't cover it any better than that. Butler tips the ball up into the air, and Cecil very alertly makes the interception.
Comes up with Green Bay's 2nd interception of the first half. They also have recovered a fumble. He says if we're not motivated by looking at the first Tampa Bay game on film, the one they lost 31-3, then you don't have a pulse. Vinny has thrown a touchdown, but also 2 interceptions. So Green Bay takes over from the 4 with 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Trailing 7-6. Favre gets a little room as he connects with Ron Lewis.
Lewis on the reception. Second and 1.
2nd down and about a yard coming up for Green Bay.
See if he throws a play action here. This is deep in his own territory, but if they're far enough along offensively, he might do something like that. Still got another down to get the yard. Let's see. There it is, boys.
Edgar Bennett
runs it right straight ahead.
Should be enough for the first.
Yep.
Mark Wheeler on the tackle.
First down.
Both teams are really taking a strong whiff of what's happening inside on a fake to the fullback in the middle. They're reacting very quickly to what they see. As a result, the bootleg patterns can be very effective, just like they have been on a couple of occasions for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Trying to keep their hands warm. They're all holding hands in the huddle there. Did you notice that?
Is that what that is? Did you start that?
No.
Did your team ever do that?
No.
1st and 10. Across the middle. Sidney. That's another first. Out to the 27. 12-yard play.
First down.
The other thing I never liked to see was somebody getting hit and then you try to help them back up.
Edgar Bennett to the 35. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Jimmy Williams stops him about 2 yards short of the first. 2 minutes to go in the first half, and Tampa Bay holds a slim 7-6 lead. In the NFL continued on Wednesday, the Great Turkey Heist, where a couple of rookies are set up, supposedly getting free turkeys.
Yeah.
You gonna pay check or?
Huh?
You gonna pay check or cash?
You supposed to pay for these?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't believe. All these linemen talked you into getting there.
No, we're supposed to get these for free. I was told.
No, it just said pick up. It didn't say anything about free. I can't believe you guys got bamboozled.
Well, a couple of Green Bay rookies falling for it. And they got the bad news from Jeff Blum from the Packers PR staff. 2nd and 2. And that's good for a first. Only a 3-yard gain to Bennett. Did you guys pull the old turkey heist, Hank, at Kansas City?
Yeah, that's right. And every year they took a big whiff.
They tell them to go down and get their free turkey, and they find out.
Oh, sure.
Why would your players? Did you not let them pick up the other team?
And the funny thing about it was a lot of them went back about 6 years in a row.
Marty Carter on the tackle of Harry Sidney, and a timeout call. Why would you not allow your players to pick up the opponent?
Oh, only because I think they're supposed to knock them down, not pick them up.
Sounds right to me. Out with 1:28 to go. Brett Favre, Hank, for Coach Mike Holmgren, has hit his last 6 pass attempts.
Yeah, they're all kind of dink and dunk passes, but they're moving the ball with it and taking advantage of the zone defenses that are being shown by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're taking a skateboard now. Sometimes the bus, but never the jet, not with the way the defense is playing.
Second down play to Sharp. He has the first and out of bounds to stop the clock right at the 50. Keith McCants bumped him out. Coming up at halftime, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from the early set of games. Matt Millen is in the studio with him this week. First down from the 50. Another short dump off. Sidney has it in the middle of the field. A 5-yard gain. Smacked by Thomas and Carter. Green Bay has 2 timeouts in its pocket. And the play is ruled dead.
False start. Number 52 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Bernie Kukar is our referee today, and it's been a pretty clean game to this point, Hank. No need to really hear from the officials so far.
Yeah, except for the turnovers, it's really been a good game.
It's only the second penalty of the game. 1:01 to go in the first half. Second and 10. Pump fake by Favre. Now he airs it out, looking for Lewis, and not even close. Threw it away. Milton Mack on the coverage. We'll set up 3rd and 10 with 54 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Sometimes, you know, when you get this kind of coverage, you're so concerned about being patient, which is very important, but you never force the defense to stretch it a little bit and try to go deep. And even though it's a zone defense, even though once you get into the area of the zone, then it becomes man for man anyhow. So you got to sometimes try to get up on top just to get some vertical stretch. Plus the fact there's always a chance to get pass interference on a long pass.
10th play of the drive coming up for Green Bay on 3rd and 10. Sterling Sharp needs to make a move for the first. I think he may have done it. Caught the ball at about the 42, had to get to the 40, and they spot it just inside of the 40. That's good enough for the first.
One thing that's very important with a young quarterback, especially with a strong gun like Favre has, to teach him how to be patient. He's got to take what the defense gives him, and this is exactly what he's doing right now. He's patiently moving the ball down the field with a forward pass with short passes.
Sterling Sharp needed 5 receptions today for an NFL record. Most receptions in your first 5 years. He's has 6 now, breaking Roger Craig's record. 1st and 10, and Ronald Lewis at the 12. And Favre showing some savvy as he calls the quick timeout with 40 seconds to go in the quarter.
You talk about a rope. That was a rope.
So they're set up at the 13 with 40 seconds to go in the half.
Here's Relka.
5 years in the league, breaking Roger Craig's mark. And Ron Lewis caught the pass to the 13. Makes a nice combination with Mr. Sharp. 27 yards to Lewis, his career long. And on first down, another pump fake, and short they go to Bennett. And a good tackle by Jones. Excellent play by Roger Jones. And Green Bay has only 1 timeout to go. And the clock running. That'll stop the clock. It'll be 3rd down, 22 seconds before the half. Trailing 7-6. Mike Holmgren doing a terrific job in his first year. The longtime 49er assistant coach at BYU. They won the national championship in 1984. Third down and 9.
You're going to bump and run. Soft coverage on the left side.
Batted down. Joe King batted it away from Ed West. So the Packers will have to rely on Chris Jackie one more time. This time he could give them the lead.
King, good anticipation. Watch him come into the picture and knock the ball down. Good defense on the part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got to feel good about just allowing an opportunity to make 3 instead of giving up another 6 or 7.
Jackie has been good from 34 and 33 yards. This one, a mere 29 for the lead. Chris Jackie is 3 for 3. Green Bay leads 9-7. There's Mike Holmgren. Another look at the former quarterback at USC. I don't know if many people realize that, but he quarterbacked at USC between Jimmy Jones and Mike Ray and was drafted by St. Louis. Never played in the league. He got cut. And here's the turnaround. Offensively, yards per game up, pass per game up, rushing yards per game, percentage, and time of possession, Hank, is #1 in the league.
Yeah, but look at that completion percentage, 64%. That's really incredible, but it's typical of the way the San Francisco 49er offense, the passing game especially, has always worked so efficiently because they take what's being given to them, and they're very patient, and that's what this young team is learning how to do.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and the CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Green Bay Packers, and Hank Stram, and the National Football League is prohibited.
They'll probably kick a Humpty Dumpty ball here. Let's see what they do.
I guess that's what you call a Humpty Dumpty ball there, huh?
As long as it doesn't go up in the air, it's a Humpty Dumpty ball. Yep.
Tim Ryan scooped it up to the 34. 10 seconds to go in the half. Tim Ryan doubling as the backup center and the third-team tight end. See if there is any...
Well, it's been a fast-paced game, hasn't it?
Really has. And let's watch the Bucks now in the last 10 seconds. Content to run it with Cobb, and he adds 7 yards to his stats to bring us to halftime. So that's the end of the first half with the score: Green Bay 9, Tampa Bay 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac.
7 on the year. Green Bay is 5-6, and the Packers, led by Chris Jackie's 3 field goals. All of his kicks set up by turnovers. And Jim Nance along with Hank Stram. And Hank, let's talk about the first half. We talked earlier about how Tampa was controlling the football, but toward the back half of that opening stanza, you saw Brett Favre driving the Packers with that ball control offense. That's the best in the league in time of possession.
Yeah, really, and he's doing a good job of, as we talked about during the game, of being patient. And he's completed 10 of 11 passes on 1st and 10. You can't get much better than that unless you hit 11 out of 11. That's strong.
Green Bay still has not found the end zone this year in 6 quarters against the Bucks. They now have 4 field goals in those 6 quarters. Here's Tampa Bay scoring, taking a 7-3 lead on Testaverde's pass to Mark Carrier.
Yeah, it's a good play-action fake. He rolls to the left, man-for-man coverage, and he hits Carrier in the end zone on the post for the touchdown. But they haven't been able to do much since that time as far as sustaining any kind of a good drive.
Well, the Bucs fumbled once, and Testaverde was picked twice. Here's one deep in Green Bay territory. Butler deflected it, and a diving INT by Chuck Cecil. So, Hank, let's go through the halftime stats. With first downs dominated by Green Bay. Time of possession's pretty even. But the key there has to be the turnovers. And the
that's a big key.
turnovers.
That's really the big key in the first half.
And there you see it. The 3 miscues set up the 3 Jackie field goals. So 9-7, the Green Bay Packers trying to climb back to 500 on the year. They haven't been 500 at this point in the season since, well, they were actually in 1990. They were 6-6 after a win in Game 12 against Tampa Bay right here at County Stadium. So they can get back on track at 500, contending, although Mike Holmgren doesn't want to talk about it, contending for a wild card spot in the NFC.
But talking to him yesterday, he was very confident, had a good feeling about the way he felt about his football team and the way they've grown and developed during the course of this season.
Told his team, don't believe that talk about us being in the playoffs. Remember, we've gotten successful here of late because we're the underdog, and we've played with the underdog mentality. So Eddie Murray to kick to Green Bay to start the third quarter. Come the Packers with Corey Harris. Corey Harris into Tampa territory on a 51-yard run back.
Corey Harris.
Looked like he was going to have pass interference on the play. Both of them trying to catch the ball. But look at Harris go down the sideline, kind of shifts gears a little bit, makes an inside move, and runs bad tackling on the part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He made about 10 yards after he was hit the first time on that return.
Mazio Royster and Eddie Murray had to make the tackle on the rookie from Vanderbilt who started the year with the Oilers but was waived in early October. Harry Sidney to the 43, a run of about 5. Santana Dotson on the tackle.
McCants was coming up the field on the play.
There you see the first half comparison for the quarterbacks. Favre 68%, 131 yards, and really hot on the last drive that led to a game-leading field goal. Second down, we'll call it 6. Edgar Bennett to the 39.
Wheeler made the stop.
Mark Wheeler on the hit.
And Bennett's a strong guy. You know, he's 6 foot, weighs 223. He doesn't look like he weighs that much, but he's a load.
Third and 2. Sidney. First down to the 30. Boy, he put the brakes on to make the cut on the defender and pick up the yardage for the first down. That move got him the first.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be tackled in the backfield.
Watch him apply the brakes here as he knows he's going to be stopped if he goes forward.
And Williams had a chance to make the open field tackle, but missed the tackle. Sidney does the rest with good, strong running. And he's another big guy. He's 6'2", or 6 foot even, really, and weighs about 217.
Was a wishbone quarterback at Kansas. Which most people know him from his days at the 49ers, backing up Rathman. It goes out of the backfield in motion. First down.
That left side.
Favre one-hops it to his receiver, Ron Lewis.
He misread that one. He had a chance to throw the ball outside for a big gain and didn't get it done.
Favre throws the football so hard sometimes that one defender this year, Tim McKyer of Atlanta, says he'll rip the skin right off your fingers when he throws it.
Including the nails. Look at all the room on the left side if he throws the ball just outside to the flank on the left side.
2nd and 10. He's looking left, Hank. Too high, too hard for Sanjay Beach.
See, the guy to hit was the outside guy one-on-one. He had a 10-yard cushion. All you got to do is stand up and throw the ball out there, and you got a big play.
3rd and 10.
Unable to find the end zone today, and as I mentioned at halftime in the first game against the Bucs. 3rd down and 10. Sanjay Beach is in a slot to the right. 3 receivers in all. Boy, talk about a high, hard one. Intended for Harris. So Jackie will be brought out again, this time a long-range attempt, just inside of 50 yards.
Well, it's easy to see it up here in the press box, Jim, but, you know, you got some opportunities that are very simple. All you got to do is hit the guy with a defensive back playing 10, 12 yards off the ball. All you got to do is throw the ball out there. They haven't done it.
Swirling winds. The wind is really going right to left. Would help a hook if you started it way right. This is a 48-yard attempt. And there you go. Right down the middle. 4 field goals for Chris Jackie, and the Packers lead 12-7. And George Thomas stumbles to the 24. That was, again, kick return number 1,000 in Tampa Bay history, and they've never run one back for a touchdown. And for that matter, they've never returned a punt for a touchdown either. Over 640 punt return tries, and now 1,000 kick returns, kickoff returns. First down from the 25 with 2 tight ends. Armstrong joining Hall. And 1 yard is all for Cobb. Yurkovich right up the middle clogged it.
The play action passes that they threw early in the game, Jim, are still should be very, very effective, because look at the way they gang tackle and they cave in on the middle and they cave in on the guy who was supposed to be carrying the ball. In this particular case, Cobb. Faking to him and then rolling outside with play action should be very effective.
Tampa Bay turnover free last week against San Diego. 3 turnovers today. 2nd down and 9. Carrier with his 300th career catch at the 40 and a gain of 14.
That was man-for-man coverage that time with Mitchell covering Carrier on the play. It was really a kind of an 8-man front. A lot of people up there, and it was a wise decision on Testaverde's part to throw the ball in this situation. He just goes down and runs a curl in front of the defensive back, Mitchell, 47.
Ron Hall to the 45, a 5-yard pickup. Had a nice visit with Ron Hall yesterday. Says, don't take us back to San Diego. I'm 0 for San Diego in my career at college and in the pros. That's where he's from. That's where his family lives. Did score a touchdown before the family last week. 2nd and 5. And Gruber jumped a little early.
False start. Number 74 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, now that Bernie Kukar's mentioned Gruber, how about how steady and durable this man has been, this former number 1 out of Wisconsin?
He hasn't missed a game in all the times he's played.
Never missed a snap.
That's right. Not a snap at all. It's unbelievable.
Look at that. Almost 4,700 consecutive snaps.
We've missed some snap counts, but not some snaps.
He hasn't missed too many blocks either, I'll tell you that.
No, it was obvious. You know, he got offside that time because the time before is because he was trying to hook the defensive end, meaning he was trying to block him to the inside and get an outside position. As a result, trying to get that position, he was a little hasty and jumped prematurely.
3rd down and 8. Green Bay brings in a whole new unit almost. They shifted 5 players out, brought 5 fresh ones in. Anderson, Gary Anderson, fighting a stiff neck from a Wednesday practice injury. He is in the game, flanking Testaverde.
There's a blitz.
And there's a great catch by Lawrence Dawsey. What a pair of hands he has.
Well, you talk about a hands catch. That was behind him, and he made a beautiful catch. And right now, you see it's easy for the Packers to make substitutions, but the farther they go the other way, why the tougher it's going to be because of the no-huddle offense.
That was Florida State on Florida State. Butler on Dawsey. And Dawsey, the leading receiver for the Bucs. That was his first catch of the day. Second-year player from Florida State. Here's Gary Anderson. Long run for only a yard. Maybe 2. Chuck Cecil finally tracked him down.
Here's a handoff from the shotgun to Anderson, running to his right. And then all of a sudden, whoop, he goes back to the other side. Now we look at it, trying to protect the ball, which he does very well. Keeps the ball then close to his body. Hand over the point of the ball. And finally gets tackled.
Second and 8, trailing 12-7.
Right.
Testaverde fires it. Oh, that should have been caught. George Thomas. That's the first pass thrown to him in a Tampa Bay uniform.
And he had the guy in the flat wide open on the play, but didn't see him evidently and went downfield. Oh, look at this. Miami beating New Orleans 10-6 in the third quarter, or 14-6 in the third quarter.
That's actually 10-7 Miami over the Saints. Stoyanovich with a 48-yard field goal to give them the lead in the third. 3rd down and 8. Testaverde looking for options, and Tony Bennett with another sack to his total. Great downfield coverage. Testaverde could not even find anyone open.
And he was smart not to throw the ball, because probably with the way he was scampering around back there, here's Bennett. Look at Bennett trying to get in. Finally goes inside. Look at this. Persistent. Finally comes back in the outside and makes the sack and tries to strip the ball loose from Testaverde.
That's the first sack of the day on Testaverde. He had gone down 6 times last week. Buckley, fair catch at the 20. And look at him celebrating the fact that he held on to it. Pumping his fist in the air, and the Bucs kick to Tampa Bay, to Green Bay. Fair catch.
Yeah, he's fumbled 6 times, so you're wondering why he's doing this. He's celebrating the occasion that he actually just caught the ball.
Some players save that reaction for the end zone.
Yeah, that's right.
He hasn't lost all 6, but he has dropped it that many times. He's run one back, I might add, though, for a touchdown this year. Edgar Bennett racing out near the 30. Let's mark it at the 29. It'll be 2nd and 1. McCants on the hit.
Second and 1.
Talking to the Green Bay coaching staff, what's the word on Edgar Bennett?
Well, they like him very much, and of course he's so big and he's so strong. You know, he weighs 222. We mentioned that a couple of times. but in conjunction with that, why, he's a very fine pass receiver, too.
See 5 catches today for 43 yards. That matches the number of catches he had on the whole season coming in. 2nd and 1. And Bennett carries it this time. Oh, he breaks through the jam and gets the first down at the 35. He broke away from Brownlow.
First down.
We take another look at him here again. And he pops out of there. Brownlow has a shot at him. It misses, and he goes right through the pile and comes out the other end.
7 carries for 23 yards today after going over 100 last week. 1st and 10. Edgar Bennett dives for a yard. Jimmy Williams on the Tampa Bay defense makes the play.
The one thing, talking to Mike Holmgren yesterday about his offense, he said, you know, the key to the success of our offense has really been the fact that we've been able to run the ball so much better than we did earlier in the season. And they came into this game averaging about 103 yards rushing per game, 3.9 average. But that's pretty set up their passing game.
2nd down and 9. 12-7 Packers.
Backside.
And Broderick Thomas with his 5th sack of the year and the first of the day for the Bucs. You look to the sidelines like Thomas did after the sack. You don't know which team he's looking at since they're both lined up on the same side of the field.
Watch him. Nobody touches him on the play. Right on the outside. And Favre has a bad left shoulder. And then he kind of tries to break his fall and might have jarred a little bit, too, in the process. But a big sack by Broderick Thomas.
3rd and 14. Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Favre to Sharp, and he is short of the first.
Sharp on the reception.
Even though they give him a generous mark up to the 44.
Ricky Reynolds, number 29, came in there, made the tackle right about the time he made the catch. Had no chance whatsoever to turn around and try to make some yardage on the run after the catch.
They're about a yard shy of the first. Ricky Reynolds having a Pro Bowl season. Now here's Brian Wagner. Packers had 2 punts blocked earlier in the year when McJulian had the punting duties. But no serious rush today on Wagner. Picked up on one hop by Hawkins and out of bounds at the 24. Under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Packers all on field goals, leading 12-7. The motivational man that he is can really get his team fired up at times. He's trying to make that impact on the Bucs in his first year. Says, I'm an emotional coach. If you're not enthusiastic doing what you're doing, get another job. Bringing life to the Bucs. They need some sudden shot of it now, trailing 12-7 and intercepted. No, incomplete. Intended for Carrier. Tim Ryan is in at center, by the way. Tony Mayberry is out. And there's a look at Ryan. He started the year wearing 64. They had to switch the numbers around, make it 46, until again line up as a tight end in some situations. He's the 3rd tight end behind Hall and Armstrong. And the backup center to Tony Mayberry. 2nd down to 10. Brian Noble should have had that one. He broke a thumb last week, and that may have hindered his effort to gobble that one up.
He was wide open on the play, should have caught it. Look at all the time now. Good protection. But you have to give Noble a lot of credit for reading the play like he did and going to the tight end, Hall.
3rd and 10. Carrier for the first down. That was a good pass play. Mitchell on the coverage. And a 20-yard gain, 21 yards.
A good pass play, but and a very, very important one for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're only a play out of being right back in this game and taking over the lead. I'd like to see him throw a play-action pass right here, Jim, because they're responding very quickly to the fake of the back. And as a result, you might be able to get a chance to move the ball down the field in pretty good shape.
That's the threat of Reggie Cobb. He takes some of the heat off the passing game, or he should. Let's see if they agree with you. Play action, Hank. Well, they run it. Cobb running sideways for about 6. McCray with a good block. The right tackle and #1 pick back in '91.
It's a good shot. Anytime you get 6 yards on first down, you're in good shape.
73 yards rushing now for Cobb. That's the exact same number he had last week against the Chargers. #1 rush defense in the league. Tampa Bay, in fact, had the highest rushing total of the season against the Chargers defense, which again is ranked #1 against the rush. 2nd and 4. There's your play action. They fake the Cobb, and they go long to Carrier. Oh, he was well interference, and Cecil will be flagged for it.
See, that's the nice thing about throwing the ball long downfield. Even though they might be there to be involved in coverage, there's always a chance there could be pass interference on a play. There was an illustration of it, and now they have a big play.
Number 26 results in the first down.
Carrier was wide open, and Hank, he had to hold up for it.
Yeah, that's right. See, he had to slow down, and by that time, why...
Can't question that call.
No, not at all. By that time, why Cecil was able to recover, but was involved in pass interference on the play.
34 yards on that play. Now from the 15. 34 yards on the penalty, I should say. So 1st and 10 from the 15. Play action to Cobb. McDowell. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And Hank, you got it. There's your play action.
And look at the difference in the pass protection when you play action, especially when you have a great running back like Cobb. They have to respect him when anytime he puts his nose into that defensive line, a fake there. See, look at all the time he's got to throw the ball. It's fun to play quarterback when you got that kind of protection.
Anthony McDowell with his first NFL touchdown, and Vinny with his 2nd touchdown pass. He has just tied Doug Williams for the most touchdown passes in Tampa Bay history. His 73rd touchdown pass. McDowell's first NFL score.
And you see how accurate he is when he has a chance to step and follow through on a pattern like that one.
Murray adds the extra point, and the Bucs are back in front, 14-12 with 2:12 to go in the 3rd. Well, this would even the Bucs divisional record at 4-4 if they won this game today. In fact, it's their final game of the year in the Central. They're 3-4 coming in after going 1-7 last year in the Central.
You know, it's fun to talk to Sam, isn't it? You can't tell when you talk to him whether they're undefeated or whether they've lost every game. He's always full of enthusiasm and always selling his team on the idea that they can do a good job and win.
Eddie Murray doing a little digging. He had his last kick, the one to start the 3rd quarter, run back for over 50 yards by Harris.
In weather like this, that ball is like kicking a bowling ball. That's pretty hard.
Eddie Murray has not had a touchback in the last 73, make it 74 kickoffs. And this short one is raced out to the 35 by Brooks with flags everywhere. It was a 5-play, 75-yard drive. Pass play to Carrier came up with the first down, and then another pass try to Carrier resulted in interference for a 34-yard gain, and then the pass to McDowell for the score.
We have holding on the run back on the return team, number 88. We have a personal fall, late hit out of bounds, number 24 in a white. The ball will be placed at the spot of Green Bay's fall, first down.
Well, they're behind a commercial position in the third quarter, so an official timeout on the field with the Bucs in front by 2. Dome next Saturday. And Sterling Sharp makes the catch and quickly steps out at the 37. We have an update, so we return you to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, at RFK Stadium in Washington, Tim Rosenbaugh of the Cardinals has been picked off 3 times today. This one costly. At the goal line by Todd Bowles, who returned 65 yards. It set up an eventual 3-yard run by Ernest Biner for a touchdown. The Redskins leading the Cards 27-3 in the third. Jim?
I think it's the first time in a long time that the Cardinals have not been competitive in a game.
Well, with the injuries they have, and especially the way Chandler was playing, Rosenbaugh hadn't played much all year long, and so I heard last week when he went in, he was very rusty and the timing was not good.
Fullington on the stop of Bennett, only about a 2-yard gain, so it'll be 3rd and short. They'll need to get to about the 42 for the first, and the Saints have now moved in front of Miami. 3rd and 1, let's call it, as Floyd Peters signals to his defensive unit. Under a minute to go in the third. 14-12 Tampa Bay. They didn't get it. Harry Sidney stopped short by Al Chambly. He's a half-yard short. Although they're going to bring the chains out.
Somebody got underneath the pile, and it looked like Chambly, number 57.
This won't even be that close, I don't believe. Oh. I'm looking at the chains on the far side, and it's spotted past the 41. This is inside of the 41, but it's still inches short. Chains on the far side. The spot over there indicates that it was about a half-yard shy. Here, it's maybe a half-inch. Short by a chain link.
I really thought they made it by far more than that, didn't you?
They missed it. Yeah, I thought they missed it by much more than that. So they're going to go for it.
Oh, they got to go for it, I think.
Sidney the single back.
Yeah, they're in there tight.
Farr dives and has it. And the crowd roars in approval of Holmgren's decision to go for it.
And that's a good call. Normally, if you have just inches to go, that's the play you like to call, the quarterback sneak. If it's a yard or so, well, then, of course, it's different, and you want to go for it, then you'd probably go with a running back.
So that will run out the clock in the third quarter. And the score is Tampa Bay 14, Green Bay 12. And our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Leading 14-12. One of 3 home games played this year at Milwaukee's County Stadium. Green Bay already beat Philadelphia here 2 weeks ago, and will close out their Milwaukee section of the schedule next week against Detroit. First down, 1st and 10 for Brett Favre and the Packers. Harry Sidney on the short pass and darting for the first down at the Tampa Bay 47. Broderick Thomas on the hit. 11 yards on that play.
Both teams really have been very effective throwing play-action passes when they decided to do that. And it's always a good time to do it on 1st and 10 because they're expecting run. They react quickly to what they see as far as the fake is concerned. And usually you get a chance to make some good yardage on that kind of a pattern.
First down, here comes the blitz. Favre flings it too long for Lewis. Fullington on the coverage. Crowd wanted interference.
Look at the blitz coming on the right side of your picture. Number 51, Broderick Thomas. But he's taken to the outside, and as a result, Favre has been able to throw the ball, step up into the pocket, and get rid of the ball downfield.
Ball remains on the 47.
Brett Favre grew up a Cowboy fan of Roger Staubach and Archie Manning. Facing 2nd and 10. Through the hands of Harry Sidney. And he's saying, wait a minute, what about that guy? Wasn't he on my back? Talking about Jimmy Williams, no call.
Watch now. Williams is covering on the play. Watch Sidney. Now he got his right hand out in front and knocked the ball down. Looks like he did a good job of that. Jimmy Williams, good reaction on the play.
Hank pass by distance. You can see, much like the 49ers, they'll get that short pass working pretty effectively. 19 of 24, under 10 yards.
Yeah, that's always been their personality.
Need one more than 10 here. 3rd and 10, and they got it. They got 11 yards to Sterling Sharp.
Here we see the top of the screen, run-on-one. Reynolds, number 29. It's a quick slant pattern. Not much you can do about that. And then the inside is Carter trying to come in from the inside and help out. But you can't stop everything, especially when you throw it that quickly.
Already 9 catches. Has not broken free for a big one, but 9 for 52 for the NFL's leading receiver.
Well, Reynolds gives him a pretty good cushion back there. He's not going to lick him deep, that's for sure.
First down, Harry Sidney. Piled up by the Tampa Bay front line, including Santana Dotson, and there's Jimmy Williams coming up to help out also. Sterling Sharp. Just check out the numbers, Hank, coming into the week. 73 catches for 1,101 yards. It's over 15 yards a catch. And 8 touchdowns. He's now up to 82 receptions.
And he makes it look very easy, doesn't he?
Very graceful. 2nd and 9. Favre falls near the first. Could not resist that open field. And he's near the first down yardage. They'll probably go bring out the chains. Yes, they do.
The nice thing about that run was the fact that he was very decisive, made a quick decision, and jumped through that cavity in good shape and got the yardage, and then slid into a position where he made good yardage on the play.
Oh, let's see. Another chain link shy. Eric Metcalf has returned to punt 75 yards. The Browns now lead 20-7. What a year for the Favre family. Can't you see the family down there in past Christian, Mississippi? They got the son as the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL, and a daughter, Brandy, who won Miss Mississippi Teen Co-Ed Miss America. And last night she competed, or Friday night she competed in the Miss America Teen Co-Ed Finals in Tampa, Florida, of all places. That was Brett Favre's sister, Brandy.
And he was proud as can be when he told us about her yesterday.
Inside, he hands off to Sidney to the 23, and that gets the first.
Sidney's an interesting story. He played for the 49ers when Mike Holmgren was there. And he brought him here because he thought he could help him as far as the development and teaching process of the offensive scheme. He's done a good job in that respect, plus the fact that I think when it's all said and done, he wants to coach someday, and I think he'll be a good one.
Sidney is the oldest starting running back in the NFL at 33. Keeps in touch with his old pal Tom Rathman, who he backed up with the 49ers. This week they got on the phone to talk about Philadelphia. The Niners faced them today. Packers had him 2 weeks ago. That pass, a dangerous one, caught by Lewis. And that's enough for another first down. 12 yards.
He rolled out that time to get away from the pressure, and good touch. Here again, look at how much more time he has thrown by moving the pocket than if he consistently throws in the pocket. The ball was thrown a little bit behind. Looked like he guided it a little bit, but it still was caught for a first down on the play.
David Grant is in at defensive end for Tampa Bay. Played for Sam Weish at Cincinnati, number 99. His first appearance as a Buck signed this week. 1st and 10, trailing 14-12. Favre. Lewis almost reeled it in with one arm. Then Milton Mack knocked it away.
Milton Mack was in bump and run, meaning he's right up on the line of scrimmage. He did a good job of reacting to the thrown ball. But it would have been a sensational catch for Lewis.
Mack knocks it away, so he strips the touchdown, and it's 2nd and 10. Favre thought he had the touchdown. Look at him. He talked to us yesterday about throwing to that corner of the end zone, how the stands jut out right onto the back of the end zone. 2nd and 10, trailing 14-12 with 10:40 to go. Bennett wrestled down by McCants.
We talked to Mark Wheeler yesterday. You had to be impressed with him, didn't you, Jim, yesterday? Visiting with him about how serious he is about his responsibility as a pro football player.
Mark Wheeler, yes. He perhaps has been overshadowed this year by the sensational play of Santana Dotson, another rookie. But what a good young defensive line they have now at Tampa Bay.
And you talk about Steady Eddie. He's a dependable kind of a player. And we talked about Thanksgiving and whether he had a good Thanksgiving dinner. He said, yes, I ate. And you asked him if he ate a lot. He said, no, I just ate enough. I didn't want to ruin my chance for playing good this weekend.
So a timeout called by Green Bay. We'll be right back.
Ever since Mitsubishi began building automobiles,
Testaverde, 2 touchdowns today, passing. Chris Jackie, 4 field goals for Green Bay. And the Packers in position now to take the lead with 10:14 remaining in this game. And, Hank, what an impressive drive the Packers have put together. They're coming up with their 15th play of this drive.
Yes, and they've been very patient in the process. And, of course, they've done a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage run-wise and passing-wise.
3rd and 6. Favre rolls out, and touchdown Green Bay, Jackie Harris. Scoring on the 15th play of the drive, a 9-yard touchdown toss. Favre to Jackie Harris.
Another play action pass. Tight end coming across. Pops wide open.
Jackie makes it 19-14. Bucks trail by 5. We'll be right back. Tampa Bay's Courtney Hawkins is smothered right away by Corey Harris. Packers leading 19-14, and boy, is this crowd alert and alive.
Yeah, and they're getting them involved even more so than they have been in the game, talking about the players.
Number 46.
Worst starting field position of the day for the Bucs.
Look at that safety close to the line of scrimmage.
Testaverde fakes, then goes long. Dawsey to the Green Bay 45. Chuck Cecil with a saving tackle. 39 yards to Dawsey.
You talk about a great throw that time by Testaverde to Dawsey. It had to be perfectly thrown right in that spot. Concentration level was excellent on the part of Dawsey making that catch. Look at the left split end over there. Look at all the room he's got. Stand up there and throw it to him.
Looking right. Now here comes the pressure. And that will not count as a sack because Testaverde actually gained a yard out of it. Matt Brock and Tony Bennett collapsed the pocket. At the 45, it'll be 2nd and 9.
Tony Bennett has really been a force in this defense. He came into the game with 10.5 sacks. He got one again this afternoon, makes it 11.5.
Ray Rhodes is the defensive coordinator. After 11 years as the defensive backfield coach at San Francisco, he said coming into the year that Bennett will be his Charles Haley. And he has been. And Brock almost gets Testaverde. He shakes off the defender and now runs for the first. First down, Tampa Bay at the 35.
That looked like a screen pass to where the defense of the Green Bay Packers got across the line of scrimmage and into the backfield.
Looked like Brock might take a handoff.
He was close to taking it.
10-yard scramble for the first down. 8:15 remaining. Green Bay leads 19-14.
And they're only one play away from taking over the lead in this game. They're in good shape.
Reggie Cobb driving to the 20. Gruber and Beckles with some impressive blocks inside.
You talk about a good cutback run that time by Cobb. And that's the nice thing about being in that deep position, as I talked about earlier. He's got plenty of time to read the reactionary moves of the defense.
That was a 15-yard run. And it's 1st and 10 with a half a quarter to go. Play action. No chance. Brian Noble hit him first. And then later on, Alfred Oglesby was there. And Matt Brock. No chance for Vinny on this play.
None whatsoever. And that's the thing about a play action. If they come, if they're blitzing, look at Bennett now, number 90, coming across the outside. Then he comes inside as it's saying he's trying to come in and help out on the play. But they cave it in good shape. Kuntz was also there, 53, to help out on the play.
2nd and 16. They give it back to Cobb. Cobb gets most of the loss right back. Chuck Cecil on the tackle. There is a flag on the field. Clock stop was 6:40. Holding, this is a big penalty against Tampa Bay. Instead of having the football at the 20, they'll be back in the area of the 40-yard line.
Holding, number 88 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, actually, the holding during the run, they step it off from that point, 10 yards from the point of the infraction, so it's marked at the 31.
You know, one thing on that play action pass, we go back a play, 2 plays. Jim, if you have a play action pass, you have to be very alert and make sure that if it's going to be a blitz, you got to change the play and have security throw from the pocket and take advantage of the one-on-one coverage. They went ahead with it, and as a result had no chance.
And Tampa has called timeout. Each team is left with 2 timeouts. 6:23 remaining in this game.
The 42nd timeout.
Doubleheader day on CBS. Next, most will see Philadelphia at Kansas. CBS, some good games late in the day. Tampa Bay will face 2nd and 20 when they come back onto the field. They don't have to get the touchdown necessarily on this series. A field goal could still set them up for late in the game. Tampa Bay players talking about how Testaverde hyperextended a knee last week against San Diego and insisted he stayed in the game. They said that was a quantum leap in his career as a leader.
Yeah, they were all very impressed with that.
Again, 2nd and 20. And they run it with Anderson. Not much. Lester Archambault.
They like to do that with Anderson in this situation, and the Green Bay Packers reacted very, very well and were scouted very well on this particular play.
3rd and 17, under 6 minutes remaining. 4 receivers in the game. Tampa Bay will have to attempt the field goal. Tim Houck was in on that pass play.
Hawkins' pass is incomplete.
They were looking in the area of Courtney Hawkins. Should have had it.
Can't throw it any better than that. Should have caught that one.
Still would have been short of the first, however. Did not run a deep enough route. Would have been at least 7 yards shy of the first. Here comes Eddie Murray. 47 yards this attempt.
It's a long kick for him at this stage of his career. He might pump it through there.
He made one from 52 yards in a game he played for Kansas City this year.
Yeah.
Oh. Did not have the hook going on it. But there's a flag on the field. Hold on a minute. And the Bucs indicate it's going against Green Bay. They'll get another try.
Offside on the defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Eddie Murray, a Pro Bowler in 80 and 89, was the MVP in the 1980 Pro Bowl, and Detroit's all-time score. They drafted a rookie, did the Lions this year, Jason Hansen, so they waived Murray. Oddly enough, played 1 game for the Chiefs this year, and now he's replaced Ken Willis. This will be from 42 yards to move within 2. What a penalty that was. No, I thought he had it. That was short by a yard or 2, and Green Bay clings to the 19-14 lead. Murray from 42 yards. It'll hit the bottom of the standard.
It was straight as you could possibly kick it, except it just was not long enough. It got up there high and came right down.
Well, the crossbar is jutted out a little bit from that standard, so he missed by really less than a yard. And for a moment, I think he believed he'd made it. Straczynski and Murray anxiously watching. And then a don't worry about it, Pat. Tap to the helmet. And Sam Weish.
Watch him. Watch his reaction to the missed kick.
Coming up empty on that trip. Packers lead with 5:27 remaining. 19-14. Edgar Bennett twisting for 2 yards. Derek Brownlow in the middle with the tackle. You know, Eddie Murray, Hank, trying from 42 yards. One of the older players in the National Football League. The Bucs have the oldest active player, and Steve DeBerg. And then Jackie Slater, and he's also 38. Vince Evans on and off the Raiders roster. And Eddie Murray at 36.
You know what he wants to do when he gets through kicking, don't you?
Coach?
No, he wants to be on the tour. He wants to be in a pro golf circuit. Yeah, he really does. Yeah, loves to stretch the pores on the links.
Second down, ball is knocked away by Mark Duckins. So with 4:37 remaining in the game, the clock has stopped, and it's 3rd and 7. Tampa Bay could get the ball back in a hurry.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned a couple of times, they're only one play away from taking a lead.
Green Bay leading this bunch by 5. The Packers attempting to knock their record at 6-6 on the year and stay within a game of the Redskins, who will win today for the final wild card spot in the NFC. 3rd and 7, and Favre wide open. He may go, well, down to the 32-yard line. They had the angle on him.
How'd you like that slide? Delayed action slide.
Another thing that was beautiful about this was Harry Sidney, a decoy, and really doing a good trick on the Tampa Bay defender by still indicating that he wanted the football on a pass out in front. There is a flag down, Hank.
Yeah, look at the big hole on the inside.
Holding number 73 on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
It's all coming back. It is all coming back. Holding on Tootie Robbins.
And Tootie is 6'5", 215. He's big enough not to have to hold.
Kerry Conklin has thrown a touchdown pass in that Redskins romp. Art Monk, the recipient. 41 points for the Redskins. Now it's 3rd and 17. Sidney. Not even close to the first. They got a little yardage back before Darryl Pollard knocked him down. So Tampa Bay calls timeout. 4:13 remaining. That leaves the Bucs with 1.
That's the second team timeout.
Who do you like in the Eagles-49ers game, Hank?
49ers.
49ers playing at Candlestick with the lead in the West now over the Saints. Saints defense today has scored 2 touchdowns. Vince Buck and Robert Pig Goff. Some will see Minnesota at the Rams.
And Pig Goff used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know, the NFC Central had 3 new coaches out of the 5 this year. And you have Dennis Green, a new coach. The Vikings on top. Mike Holmgren, new coach of the Packers in second. And Sam Weish in his first year at Tampa. And a tie for 3rd entering the day with the Chicago Bears.
Let's see if they try to rush the kick, whether they'll be fearful of maybe getting a penalty, or whether they'll go for the return. I would just guess they'll go for the return.
Brian Wagner. Tampa Bay setting up a return. Hawkins. Whoa! He turns it over, and Brian Noble's on the bottom of that pile.
You see what happened? It looked like he was looking down at the people coming at him, and he tried to catch the ball. It was too low. You got to catch that ball at the numbers, at the top of the numbers, Jim, and that's not what happened. He tried to catch it way too low. Watch this. See how low it is? It's right down by the waist. You got to catch it up by the numbers.
Fourth turnover of the day by the Buccaneers.
And that had to happen only because I think he wanted to take a look at the oncoming rushers, took his eye off the ball momentarily, had to delay enough where he had to catch it below the waist, and as a result fumble the ball.
So 4 minutes remaining. Tampa can only take one more timeout. Packers have the football and the 5-point lead. They give to Bennett, and still moving toward the 30. Buccaneers have used their last timeout. 3:50 remaining in this game.
Looking at both coaches, talking to both teams, both have so much respect and such a good feeling for both of their coaches. Very obvious talking to the players. Holmgren, I ask about his personality. They say you can't ever tell. He's always the same, never changes, always under control, and the players like that.
Hank, let's set the lineup for tonight on CBS. It all begins with 60 minutes. Jerry Glanville and the Falcons have posted the first final of the day, 34-0. A shutout of New England.
I think they played the Saints Thursday night in New Orleans.
Second down, 2nd and 4. Bennett stacked at the line by Chamblee. Remember, the Bucs cannot stop it again, so they must hold on this play. You know, 10 years since the last Falcon shutout, and Norm Johnson had a 54-yard field goal in that game, which matches the longest of the year in the league earlier in the year by Norm Johnson.
Well, he's got a thunderfoot. He can boom him.
3rd and 6. A loss on the play of 2 yards. Clock inching toward the 3-minute mark. Sidney the single back on 3rd and 6. They stick it in his belly. Tried to wrap it around him.
Jimmy Williams made the tackle. Good reaction on his part. One-arm tackle by Jimmy Williams.
So it'll be 4th down from the 34.
Let's see the handoff here. Oh, he brings it around the back. Bring around the Rosie shot. Around the back and puts it up in front.
Well, they're going to try a long-range field goal, and if Jackie makes it, Green Bay will be up by 8 and really just about close it out. He's 2 for 2 this year, over 50 yards. Call this one 52 yards. Never a chance. And with the long-range miss, they'll come back to the line of scrimmage. The Bucs will take over at their own 34 with 2:12 to go. No timeouts. The only time the clock will stop will be at the 2-minute warning. So Chris Jackie misses for the first time today. He's now 4 for 5.
Well, this young team now has an opportunity to win this game. There's plenty of time left, even though they don't have any more timeouts left. They got plenty of time to win this game if they execute.
Testaverde sliding at the 33, just back to the line of scrimmage, and they will not get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. It's been a good game,
2-minute warning.
and it comes down to the final 2 minutes.
If your car won't start after the game,
Packers lead at 19-14 at Milwaukee's County Stadium. Testaverde wide open. Mark Carrier to the 47 of Green Bay. 18 yards on that play. The Tampa Bay Bucs do not have any timeouts. Testaverde stops it at 1:44 remaining. They have played some thrilling games, these two teams, in the Battle of the Bays. 3 times, in fact, in their 27-game history, they've gone to overtime. Chris Jackie has beaten them a couple of times in the game's final seconds. Now Testaverde trying to drive the Bucs to victory. 2nd and 10. Gets away, and look out. Mitchell intercepts for the 2nd time today. Green Bay did not have an interception by a starting cornerback in the whole season coming in today, and Mitchell now has snared 2 passes from Testaverde. 5 turnovers in all committed by the Bucs. And after a great job of eluding the tackler, Bryce Popp, he threw in the coverage that time.
But in that situation with the game on the line, Jim, you shouldn't have to be scrambling and fighting for your life back there to throw the football. You ought to have the kind of protection you need to get the ball down the field. A lot of people will blame Testaverde for that play, but there was no time whatsoever to step in the pocket, and that's the kind of a play you have to make, and that's the kind of a play you do make when you're a good football team and winning football game.
Mike Holmgren 1 snap away from 500.
And Sam said yesterday, we can win it, but we can't give it away. And they had a chance to win it and did give it away.
That will do it. Green Bay has won 3 straight. They stay within 1 game of the Redskins for the last wild card spot in the NFC. Green Bay is 6-6. Tampa Bay falls to 4-8. Green Bay takes the football away 5 times, and the Packers win by 5. A lot of people wonder why Green Bay mixes up the schedule with 5 home games at Lambeau, 3 here at Milwaukee County Stadium. But you can't argue about their record here in Milwaukee.
No, it's amazing that they win as much as they have won here in Milwaukee compared to what they've done at Green Bay.
Coming up shortly, we'll be going back to New York for the post-game show with Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw. Doubleheader day here on CBS. Some will be seeing Philadelphia at San Francisco or the Minnesota at the LA Rams game. The 11th coach in Green Bay history, Mike Holmgren, in his first year, 6-6 with 4 games to play. It's going to be a fun team to watch for the last month of the season, Hank.
Yeah, it really will be. Certainly will be.
I enjoyed it, Coach.
Always enjoy it, Jim. You're the best, kid.
So for Hank Stram, I'm Jim Nantz saying so long from Milwaukee County.